rude people just get your goat. There truly seems to be a rudeness epidemic with cell phones going off, insults flying. It seems like people will say anything. Unbelievable. iPods during dinner, loud talking, interrupters, obnoxious drivers, and late people. I was watching you all as you arrived today. There are cameras everywhere. Now, the time to get here was supposed to be 8:15, right? And you know what I saw? This whole section right here showed up late for the show. Barbara's one of these latecomers. That's right, you are busted. Everybody have a seat while I bust her. So, what was more important than showing up on time?
The traffic in LA.
Okay, and you just moved here?
I came up from Carlsbad.
Yeah, so you've not lived in California before?
Only 27 years.
So you didn't know that there would be traffic. All right, have a seat. So Nathaniel, where are you? Right here. Oh, yeah, okay. So you are chronically late, right?
Yes, yes.
So what's up with that?
I don't know, I'm late to everything. That's what everyone can depend on me for, is to be late.
You've actually been fired from a job for being late.
I have.
What happened?
I showed up late 3 times in 1 week.
And they fired you?
Yes.
So he's apparently a slow learner. It took 3 times for him to fire you. Why do you do it?
I don't know. I don't think I can help it sometimes. I feel like there's no hurry to be on time anymore.
It's Kate here. I'm here to find out what everyday folks think is rude.
Rude are those people that are just talking through the movie. You know, you're sitting there trying to watch the movie, and the whole time you have to hear these rude people in the row ahead of you that's just talking through the entire movie. It's ridiculous.
I ride the bus. An example of rudeness, just blatant rudeness. You could have a woman, a baby in each arm, grocery bags, in a wheelchair, and no one will yield their seat. Very rude.
Just yesterday, someone hit my door as I got out off of Melrose, and I had the nerve to stop and curse at me.
I was pregnant with my daughter about a year ago, and people just in the grocery store or whatever come up to you and just touch your stomach. I think it's rude to just assume that that's public property and
Your
not,
belly.
yeah, it's my stomach. I don't think that anyone views themselves as a rude person.
Now, my next guest says he knows all about rudeness. Now, as I talk to Robert, I want you to ask yourself, am I behaving the same way? Now, let's take a look at Robert's top 5 rude behaviors. He refers to who as Guido from Puerto Rico?
My boyfriend's grandfather.
Guido from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay, that's some class.
He's
Okay.
cute. You have to meet him first. You know, he may be skinny and kind of short, but I mean, it's one of those guys you see like in the movie Sopranos or whatever. It's like, you just don't want to.
He does have the mafia
Yeah,
air,
he really
but
does.
Well, apparently
not enough to be called that.
Well,
All right, you refer to someone as having the little man syndrome.
you find a lot of that in Texas, as you would know.
Don't pull me into
Oh, no, I'm not
this.
saying, you know, I mean, you're from Texas. Obviously, you see the different levels of little man syndrome as to the Ford series, Ford F-150, Ford F-250. Lift kits, you know. Little man comes out, you know, he has to buy something to make him feel bigger.
Really?
Well, yeah, that's why I drive a Saturn.
Number 3, he said to you that you and your boyfriend were nerds who need a sex book.
He does call us nerds all the time, which we are.
Yeah.
Science nerds, but.
And what is number 4? Who did you say this to? You made a waitress cry. You pick on waitstaff?
More than anybody else, probably.
So, because she brought the entree before you were finished with your appetizer.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
And
well, I
so-
mean, you know, if you're in a service business, learn it, live it, know it. I mean, do something. You order an appetizer, you don't want your appetizer to come.
So you were
5
just
minutes
doing
before
kind of a
your-
training program.
Absolutely, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'm just wondering if
Oh.
that's how you want to look at it. So, do you just like eating snot and stuff? Because,
Do you really think that really happens?
oh, I don't think there's any question about it. Trust me.
Well,
when,
then
when you bitch about course 1 in a rude way, you're eating something you didn't order in course 2.
My wife worries about that.
Yeah. Okay, and then number 5, told a friend's date she won't be around long.
That was one of my ex-friends.
Well, I was not wanting to be rude, so
it wasn't
I didn't
a date.
but that is one of your ex-friends.
Yeah,
I wonder why
because
he's
he did
ex.
something kind of make me mad anyway. But I mean, we kind of grew up together, and it was always the same thing. He's one of those guys that has the looks and has the, and girls just go, ah, you know, and they come and go, and every time they always, you know, why did he break up with me? Who did they come to? Me. Don't come to me. I'm not going to become your friend because you're going to be gone next week. It doesn't really matter.
Have you always been big?
Yes, I was considered a teacher in middle school.
All right, so, I mean, do you think sometimes people that are bullies are kind of big and they just kind of lumber around. Do you think that gives you license others might not have?
I don't see that. I mean, I don't think that I don't consider myself the big bully. I've been throughout middle school.
Oh, you're a bully. You're bullying people. If you're making waitresses cry because they brought your entree before you finished your appetizer, which means they didn't calculate the ingestion through your mouth and how fast you were going to smooth and swallow, how rude of them to do that. I don't know how many tables they had that night or if that was the second shift they were working to try to be a single mother and take care of somebody. But other than that, I think it's important that they get it there at the right time. Hey, stand up if you would. Kate, step up here if you would. Okay, so, see, when you're dealing with somebody like this, then you kind of got an imposing sort of presence, right?
Right.
Yeah. What are you, moonwalking here? Step up, girl.
I don't bite.
I mean, do you trade on that?
It depends on their outgoing attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's nice, hi, how you doing, so-and-so, and that's great.
But you said
nice
you exploit weakness, that you see weakness. You said yourself, if I see weakness, I'll jump on it.
If they're being in a rude manner.
Do you pick on people that are smaller, like, you know, wait staff, people that you think are beneath you in the world?
I don't consider them beneath me.
Well, apparently you do. You put yourself in a teacher role.
Well, I want to teach them something that they're doing wrong. I mean, who else is nobody ever going to tell
So that's
anything?
not condescending? You're going to tell a waiter how to wait? You ever been a waiter?
No.
I bet you'd be great.
No. I'd be
let me tell you, I've done it. I've done it. I got fired. I was so bad.
Me too.
I did. I got fired. I
terrible.
couldn't remember to write the drinks on the ticket, and they fired me.
I consider myself having a good personality.
I showed up on time, Nathaniel, but they fired me. Well, I received a videotape from Ann, who had this to say about her sister, Kimberly.
My sister is a person that interrupts all the time. She not only interrupts DrPhil, but she rudely interrupts. She has rude comments for everyone.
DrPhil, I am trying to explain to her that, you know, I'm trying to give corrective criticism because my family, do you know what they would look like if it wasn't for me?
DrPhil, this is exactly what I mean. I'm supposed to be asking you to please help my sister. And she does not let me talk. And she does not let me talk.
Because you know you're just jealous
DrPhil needs
I
to help
have
you, and I understand.
What's going on with your sister here?
She rudely interrupts all the time. All the time. Anything at all, she will interrupt. Never a chance for anyone to speak.
Yeah, is that true?
Well, I just try to help them out. And it's like sometimes what I got to say is more important what they're saying because they're basically talking about nothing. So it's like if I have something to say, I just say it, and she can't deal with that.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That is true.
He's going to take care of you now. He's going to take care of you now. I am so happy about this. I never get to get my point across. We'll have family functions and a time to, be able to talk about things that are going on in our lives, and she will not let anyone finish their story. It's horrible.
Well, let's go through some examples.
You're horrible. Stop, I'm talking.
Let's go through some examples here. You said that she interrupted her nephew talking about getting into pre-med to talk about clothes she bought.
It was so boring. what they were talking about. I really wasn't interested. I only had a little bit short time. My kids were running around. I don't know what I was talking about, but I know it was something I had to get my point across.
But you said it's more important. What you're saying is more important than him going to pre-med. We need to talk about your dress.
Right.
Okay, well, do you really think that what you say is more important than what anybody else has to say?
Yes, I do, because when I say something, it's going to be the truth, and everybody just sugarcoats things. And
Does this happen all the time?
All the time. Dr. Phil,
It's not just that day. It happens all the time.
all the time. It's all the time. Have you ever heard of, going to a birthday party and it's for her own child? We're singing happy birthday, but she thinks I'm in love with the necklace.
She asked me, where did I get my necklace?
Here we go. We usually just let her roll on with, everything because she's just so overpowering. We tried to talk to her and, tell her what the point when it was about my son, I told her, I said, that's enough. And she just spoke us again. She just doesn't stop.
And I just got out of there.
Let me ask you something while we have the buzzer going. What is it about you that you think what you have to say is more interesting, more important, and of a higher priority than what your sister or her son or a child or anyone else might have to say? I mean, do you think you have just a desperate need for attention? I mean, you can go for a few minutes of somebody else talking and you just can't stand it. Y'all are going to have to stop that and look at me?
Maybe. I do demand attention. I am the youngest of 6 kids, so it's like I'm the baby and I always got attention, so I'm used to it probably. I don't know if that's why I am how I am, but...
So you just take over, just like, you people need to stop and give me an attention fix.
But it's like, they had time to talk about, him going to school and all that, and that stuff didn't interest me. And I did, show him the respect, and I listened for a few minutes, but I had to go. I was going home, and I just wanted to tell them something. I don't remember what it was.
Why is it all about you, though? You said it didn't interest me. Why is that the outcome determinative condition? It either interests me, or you people are going to have to stop talking about this.
Well, it was about things I didn't even understand. It was about school, and he was using all these words that he learned in medical school, and I was sitting there just listening to basically nothing because I knew nothing what he was saying. And I just don't have time to sit there. I have 3 kids, I have a busy life. I don't have time just to sit there and listen to just nothing that makes sense to me.
Okay, so they need to pick topics that A, you're interested in, B, you understand,
right.
And C, they need to, by God, get through them. Let's move this along here because I'm busy. I've got things to do. You people are going to be in my presence. You're going to have to pick stuff I like, and I understand you're going to have to get to it.
That's how I feel.
Dr. Phil, I'm wondering if she is really related to Kanye West because she's the spotlight, I'm really starting to wonder that. And I think what you're speaking about is making me realize that. Is she related to him?
And I think Kanye actually was speaking his mind, and that's really how he felt. So, I mean...
Oh, boy. Oh,
you don't think that. You do not think that this guy getting up out of the audience and going up to a young girl and taking the microphone away from her in one of the biggest moments of her life to draw attention to himself in a self-righteous, sanctimonious way was appropriate. Tell me you don't believe that.
I do, because he's an entertainer and he entertained me. When he did that, I was like, oh my God, and I just watched he did his job. He entertained
Dr. Phil,
me.
she called me right up to tell me, did you see that? That was awesome. Look at it. I was heartbroken. I was in tears
I did feel bad for her.
There you go.
I felt bad for her, but it was entertaining.
Stop.
Here's what I want people to understand. If you've got somebody being rude to you, you got to really make a decision to just maybe not react. I'll promise you, if your family got together and they made a pact, and they said every time she starts this me, that everybody just got up and left the room. Don't say a word, don't say boo, drop dead, goodbye, nothing. Just everybody got up and went in another room and shut the door where she was talking to herself.
I can't.
Which...
You'd like that, huh?
I realize that could backfire because she might love being with herself. Where there's nobody talking but her. But I mean, you really have to not reward that behavior. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.